There's something I need to tell you. Something I need to tell you is Draíocht. Draíocht. The fada makes the sound long. Makes it sound a bit longer. Draíocht. It's a beautiful word. It just means Gaelic magic. It just means Gaelic magic. It's a really beautiful word. Draíocht. And you have been told. The one thing to remember about Draíocht is it's not for, someone who calls themselves a druid is dancing around in robes. Look at me, I'm like a modern guy with a shirt on, with a t-shirt on, glasses, modern. And it's not for a special person. It's not for people on a really high level. It's an everyday practice. It's an everyday practice. It's something that is inside every Gaelic person, and that means you. That means it's inside you, Draíocht. And the important thing to remember here is we have been taught out of how to use it. Gaelic people used to know how to use it. It was just a normal everyday practice, and it was something that something everybody used. Now think about it this way: when you were born, you couldn't use your legs. You didn't even know they belonged to you. Maybe you have consciousness maybe in your mind when you're born, and it spread. You start realizing different parts of your body are actually yours. And at one point you realize your legs are yours, and you see other people walking, and then you start dragging yourself around, and at one point you get up on your knees and your hands and you can crawl, or you can actually move then. And then you start to sit up properly with your back straight, and at one point maybe you grab onto the couch and lift yourself up, and you're standing, and your parents are amazed, they're excited, feel like excitement to see the child standing up. And then you take your first steps towards your mother maybe, and you grab her hands, really, really wobbly steps. But you get there, and you grab her hands, and they're delighted for you. And now, today you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed and you don't even think about it. It's just part of your life. Your leg's just part of your life. You know how to walk. You know how to come downstairs and make your breakfast or a cup of tea or whatever it is you do. You don't even think about it. You never thank. Say, hey, Gura Mila Monicut. You never thank anybody for it. You don't shout it to the goddess, say thank you. And it's just a normal part of your life. And that's what Draíocht is. That's what Draíocht is. We have all been told not to use. This is a normal part of the Gaelic person. We've all been told not to use our legs, and been told it's like weird or woo-woo to use your natural Gaelic Draíocht, which is inside you. It's inside you right now, and it's the way you're supposed to live. It's the way you're supposed to live. You're not supposed to be living the way you're living now. You're supposed to be living your Draíocht every single day. And you are powerful. You have no idea how powerful you are. You have no idea the power inside you. That's why you had to be taught not to use it. Because without using you, if you don't use your power, you don't have it. But you are incredibly powerful. And that's because your Gaelic Draíocht, which is your birthright. Now, I've got to tell you something that's going to be difficult to hear. For 1,000 years, you've been trained out of your power. Trained out of your power. Through famine. Let's call it Gortamore. Let's call it the famine. I don't think I can say what it really is. I don't think I'm allowed to say what it really is. But let's call it the Gortamore. The Great Gaelic Famine. And through schools who bet kids up. Let's call it what it was. Bet kids up if they try to speak their own language. True, you've been told that your gods were fairy tales and your power was superstition, your magic, your Draíocht was superstition, and your gods were fairy tales. And you've been told that the king and the authorities were powerful and you were small, you were down here. You had to look up to them, and that you had to look up and supplicate to God because you're small. You weren't his envoy on the earth. You didn't have the power inside you, even though Jesus said that God is inside you. Even though Jesus said that whatever I do, you can do and more. Still, the Catholic Church will tell you that we have to supplicate and we are small and God is big. And we have original sin and we're bad and wrong. And you can believe that, it's absolutely fine. And so children were in schools and they try to speak their own language or connect with their own culture. They were beaten up. They're beating up my own father. I got a few canes. I got some canes in the hand when I was younger. And not from trying to speak Irish, because we didn't speak, that was already bad out of us way before I went to school. But there was incredible, let's be real, there was incredible violence in schools, there was incredible violence in society, and we had to forget who we were just to survive. And people on coffin ships and people dying on the side of the road, it all happened. And in order to survive, we had to forget our power. But now, today, let's take all that, throw that away for now. And now we're going to take a look right in front of you. Can you see it? It's a new Gaelic Golden Age. It's where we're going now. And you, in order to create the new Gaelic Golden Age, you have got to reconnect with your power, reconnect with your Draíocht, reconnect with remember who you really are. Because you're bringing in this Gaelic Golden Age. You're doing it. You're bringing in this Gaelic Golden Age. And you can only do it. Look at all the current systems. You notice how they're falling down? They're all being destroyed. They're all being destroyed. The only way you're going to survive this is to connect in with your Draíocht, your magic, your power. And remember who you are on a really deep level. Everything they've tried to beat out of us for generations, it's rising again. We're remembering, aren't we? Aren't we remembering? So the most important thing that I can tell you is that we've got to stop focusing on, and I'm the worst, I'm talking to myself here. You're probably much better at this than me. But we've got to stop focusing on the wars, on the attacks, on the negative things. Every car crash, every attack in Dublin city centre is going to be on our screens, even all over the world. They want to take every negative thing and put it on our screens. And it's okay, sometimes I watch it and it's difficult not to. But even for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes, we can take our focus off that and onto building the new Gaelic Golden Age, onto our Draíocht, onto who we really are. And it's a 3-step process. It's really simple, 3-step process. And I want to talk about Georgie Best to introduce the 3-step process. Georgie Best was a footballer in Ireland. He's from Northern Ireland, but he had a Gaelic heart, and he would say that before every single match, for every single football match that he played, he would lie in bed the night before and he would see in his head every single shot, every person he got ahead of, every goal he made, every movement of that match, he would have played in his head before he ever got on the pitch. And many, many people say this. Muhammad Ali says it. Lots of people say it. And beforehand, so when he got in to play the match, he'd already won it before he got on the pitch, and the other players didn't know, but he'd already won before he even got on the pitch. That doesn't mean that he won every match, but he had an incredible advantage, and he was, I would say, one of the best football players, certainly the best. You can argue with maybe Roy Keane. Damien Duff was very skillful, and you can make an argument. I think we had certain obviously Roy Keane, but I would say, and obviously George Best never played in the Irish team, but he was Irish, and I would say he's one of the best Irish players we've ever had. But he saw the match won before he ever kicked one ball. So it's a simple 3-step process for Gaelic Draíocht. First thing is you lie down and you relax your breathing and you focus on whatever you want to do, whatever your intention is, you focus on it, you see it complete, you see people congratulating you, see smiling faces, people saying, how did you do that? That was amazing, how did you do it? That was incredible, well, fair play to you. And people being really happy. And you know, doing something incredible is a beautiful thing, but doing something incredible, I don't know if you've ever done something incredible and other people see you doing it and they're amazed and they're really happy for your success. Really happy for your success. And if you can see that, and call on support of the goddess Uru, who do you connect to? The goddess Uru, the Dagda, I like the Dagda, because the overflowing cauldron. So wherever you connect to, you call on that power. Call on that power to help you. And see it. You can do 15 minutes a day. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Then the second step is break down whatever you want to do. There's going to be tasks in the real world involved. So you break it down into smaller and smaller and smaller chunks until you get it down to, I like to get it down to 50-minute tasks. So I can focus for 50 minutes and I have a timer, an hourglass. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So I have my hourglass. I turn it upside down. That's an hour. So I can see the time moving away. Now you can do this on your watch, you can do it on your phone, whatever. But I like to see the time moving away. So I only have an hour to get this task done. So I can't go on social media. I can't doom scroll. I can't play that game that I like. If someone wants me, if I get a phone call, I have to get off quickly because the time's going away. I have 50 minutes to get this task done. So let me put this down. So that's the second. Breaking it into smaller chunks that and if you feel inspired, particularly if you feel inspired, if you're calling on the Dagda, if you're calling the goddess Eru, you're going to feel inspired to do specific tasks, to talk to specific people, to do specific things. You're going to feel inspired. When you feel inspired, just do it. Just do it. Don't get me wrong, if you're in a job, stay in your job. Don't leave your job to this thing you feel inspired to do. But maybe do it later on. And write it down and do it later on when the inspiration comes to you. And it's, so you still have to do your general day-to-day things. But you still pay your bills, still if you have responsibilities to your children, to pay your mortgage, your rent, whatever it happens to be, go to your job, still do your day-to-day things. Don't get me wrong. Don't leave your job because you're doing this. But start doing tasks. You have 15 minutes a day. You have, let's say, 15 minutes focusing and 45 minutes to get one task done. You have an hour every day. Watch a little bit less TV. So that's the second step. And the third step's really important, because when you're going to sleep at night, you act as if you get into bed, you close your eyes and you start breathing more deeply, slowly, and you act as if you're already asleep in order to go to sleep. If you try to go to sleep, it's impossible. Go to bed and try to go to sleep, it's literally impossible. How you go to sleep is you act as if you're already asleep, and then you magically just fall asleep. And now, don't get me wrong, some people have more trouble falling asleep than others. But I magically fall asleep if I just act as if I'm already asleep. If I go through the motions of being already asleep and lying down in the bed, eyes closed, breathing in the way I would breathe when I'm asleep, I fall asleep. I start seeing things. Dots first and then maybe faces, and you start seeing things when your eyes are closed. But you're acting as if you're already asleep. And you're not trying to fall asleep. So if you're trying to do something, it's not going to happen. It's impossible. But if you're already acting as if doing the task that you would do if this thing happened, then that's the process. That's how you do it. And don't worry about the outcome. The outcome will be the outcome. Don't worry about the outcome. The outcome most likely won't be what you expect, but the feeling will be right. The feeling will be right. This is how to get back into your power, into your Draíocht, into your magic. And we need you. The Gaelic Golden Age is coming back, and it only comes back if you get back into how magical and powerful you really are. And what's important here, what's really, really important here is the Tuath. Remember the Tuath, because when you're doing this first, do some things for yourself. You might want, I need a little bit more money. I need a deeper connection I need to feel that connection with my loved ones, my children. I need a better car, whatever. I need a Mac. I like Macs. I need a Mac, whatever it happens to be. And I need a better car, whatever. It doesn't matter. But so at first, it's just going to be like riding a bike. You get on, you're going to fall a few times. It's not going to work. You're going to fall. You're going to hurt yourself, probably. But keep getting back up on that bike. Keep getting back up on the bike. Hopefully the first fall is small so you can get back on again. But once you find you get better and better, you start thinking about the Tuath, the people around you, your community, your family. How can you help them? How can you make things better for them? And you've also got to think about the goddess, Ireland. How do you make things better for Ireland? How do you call out to the goddess? How do I serve you? Tell me how to serve you. I'm doing this now. I'm connected back in my Draíocht. Tell me how to serve you and I'll make it happen here on the earth. So, it's basically about getting back into your Draíocht, but then giving back. And there's got to be an exchange. There's got to be an exchange. So when you're building something, there's got to be some sort of exchange. So for example, I would say, there's certain things you can do. You can give money to exchange of value. So you're getting something. So, you can give money to a beggar. You can help someone else. You can help someone who needs advice. You can, whatever. You can do this, like I'm giving back a little bit here. So, but there's got to be an exchange of value. You've got to give some value away in order to get the value back. But that's your Draíocht. That's what it is. Now, the important thing to remember here, and I talked about falling off the bike, you may hurt yourself. When you're connecting back in with your Draíocht, you're dealing with some very, very powerful energies that we've forgotten about, very powerful energies. And sometimes it'll happen exactly the way you want it to happen. Mostly it won't, but sometimes negative things can happen. It's a bit like hurling. We see hurling, and hurling is an incredibly fit for hurling. It's a very, very intense sport, but it's also a very dangerous sport. Very dangerous sport. These hurls, I have a hurl inside, I should bring it with me so I can talk about it, but the hurls are made of ash and incredibly hard things, and we wear helmets now. They wear helmets now. I don't play hurling. They wear helmets now, but they never wore helmets in the past, and you could easily get hit in the head. But a hurl, you could be concussed. You're probably going to get hit in the body at some point. They're all looking at the slitter and trying to find out where it is, and they're not looking at you. You could easily get hit with a hurl accidentally. But it's a very dangerous sport. Very, very dangerous sport. And they wear helmets now, but it's even with the helmets is a dangerous sport. But in Ireland, they teach young kids hurling. Some of my own kids did hurling when they were smaller, and they teach young kids hurling, even though it's an incredibly dangerous sport. But it's about respect. It's about respecting. You're in this dangerous thing, but you've got to have respect for it, and you've got to stay awake and keep your eyes open and keep going. You might get hit with the hurl. You might be in intense pain, and if you don't get taken off the pitch because you need to go to hospital or something, you can work through that pain and keep moving forward, and maybe you'll win the match. Maybe you'll win the match, but it's a dangerous thing. And if I'm being honest about Draíocht, you're dealing with some really, really, you're dealing with your own power. And your own power is incredibly intense and powerful. And you can't hurt yourself. So you have to it's just like a game of hurling. You have to keep your eyes open. You have to keep going. And if you get hurt, you get back up and keep going again. But you're dealing with some intense power. And that's what I'll take it back to Georgie Best again. He had some very difficult times in his later years. And that may have been because he was using some very intense power when he was younger that he didn't really understand and wasn't trained in. And that affected him negatively later on in his life. Very possibly, I don't know. But it is an intense power you're using, and just be aware of that. That's very, very important. Now, what's important here is I'm not asking you to quit your job. I'm not asking you to stop paying your bills or stop paying taxes. I'm not asking you to abandon your family and run off to a cottage in the west of Ireland. I'm not asking you to do any of that. This is a very, very step-by-step thing. What I'm asking you is to cut out 1 hour of TV, 1 hour of doom scrolling, 1 hour of internet, whatever it is you do, 1 hour of playing computer games, and give that hour every day to developing your Draíocht. Developing your Draíocht every single day. It's a little step-by-step thing. And I know you can already feel it. You can feel the power of Lu. Feel Eru's power. You can feel the Dagda. You can feel the whole Tuatha and starting growing inside you. Growing inside you. And that's making people restless. It's making people, the government, or big business, or the banks, whatever. But it's got to be directed. It's got to be directed. You have got to direct it inside you, so that this energy, this power, this focus is directed. It's not just going out everywhere angry at everybody. It's about directing the energy. You are powerful. You are powerful. But you have to dam up that energy within you. So that dam, over time, is going to create incredible electricity and change the whole world. Change the whole world. And this is the power in you right now. You can feel it. You can feel it growing. So start today. Start tonight. Pick one thing you want to change. One thing you're not happy with. One thing you would like to improve. Lie down. You can sit in your chair. You can lie down. You can focus on it. And you can start doing 1 hour a day. Take 1 hour a day. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for focusing. And the rest of that hour for some sort of inspired task that you want to complete. And the Gaelic Golden Age is coming, but it's not going to build itself. It's down to you. You are building it. You're bringing back Brown. You're creating the Gaelic Golden Age. And it's going to be built and built and built and built. Before you know what the powers that be, it's going to be too big. Too big to be ignored. The powers that be are going to see and go, wow, where did that come from? It's you making doing those little 1 hour tasks right now. It's you. You're creating this Gaelic Golden Age, and we are all relying on you. We're all waiting for you. We're all waiting for you to remember your power. We're all waiting for you to remember you have the Tuatha inside you. We're all waiting for you to remember how powerful you truly are. And you're going to surprise everyone. You're going to surprise everyone. Welcome to the Gaelic Golden Age. Aaron Gobra, August, Ta Ar Law and Shah.